Hi, if we haven't met yet, my name is Carrie, and I'm a 7-time career path conqueror turned discovery coach. Today, I get to work with professional men and women who are stuck in what I refer to as a gray area of life. This is a place where you're in a perpetual fog, and you know you're capable of reaching so much more, but you're not sure how to close that gap on how to get there. That's who I work with. And particularly for those that are using alcohol as a way to deal with that stress and that overwhelm or the lack of self-love. I know that's how I felt. That's exactly why I became a coach. I wanted to help other professional men and women just like me reach their highest version of themselves without feeling like they need to drink. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not on a vendetta against alcohol or drinking in general. What I'm hoping to do, that I get to do, is to show men and women why they're actually drinking. Together, we discover those root reasons. We get underneath those layers and we find out what is actually driving some of that unhappiness or those feelings of feeling like an imposter. That's how I felt for many, many years. My gray area life actually began when I was 7 years old. I remember very clearly sitting on my parents' driveway on a hot summer day, looking around the neighborhood, looking for someone to play with, and there wasn't anyone. And I remember thinking, is this all there is to life? Because if so, this isn't that great. Then I remember thinking, I'm 7, I shouldn't be thinking these thoughts. Well, unfortunately, that sentiment stayed with me for most of my adult life. It wasn't until I reached my late 40s that I realized that alcohol had been playing a negative part in my own life. I already was very unhappy with many areas, including having no self-love or feeling like I didn't have purpose or direction. And alcohol was a way for me to escape those feelings and to numb some of the pain that I was feeling. I thought I was just a social drinker, but I realized that I was more than a social drinker. I didn't identify or resonate as being an alcoholic, but I knew that I was drinking more than socially. That's when I decided to try the only thing that I knew of at the time, which was Alcoholics Anonymous. It's a great program, and it's really awesome for those that need recovery or that identify as an alcoholic. But for me, it wasn't a good fit. I wanted something that was more about discovering why I wanted to drink. I wanted to understand how I could be the next best version of myself and find that deep passion that I know lived inside of me. It was at that point I reached out and worked with a coach. He really showed me a lot. He planted many seeds for me, including that one day I too would be a coach and share my message with the world, which I promptly said, no, definitely not. Well, here I am years later, and this is what I get to do. After working with this coach, I still wasn't sure why I was drinking, or at that point I quit drinking, but I didn't understand what I was. If I wasn't an alcoholic and I was more than a social drinker, what was I? Well, it wasn't until about a year later I heard the term gray area drinking on a podcast interview. As I was listening to the guest talk about her experience and her story, it was exactly my story. I really resonated with what she was saying. She never had a rock bottom. She appeared to everyone on the outside world that she was living a normal life, but she felt very alone inside and that she wasn't quite living at the highest potential that she knew she could be living at. That was me. I realized at that point I wanted to share what gray area drinking was with everyone also. I knew that if I could share this message with others, it might provide a way for them to raise their hand too and say, you know, that sounds like me. I could too be a gray area drinker. And it will help them understand that they have an easy way out at that point. They can simply choose to decide that they want to do something different, that they want to choose another path. You see, for gray area drinkers, it's a choice to drink. Now, I'm not on a vendetta against alcohol. What I'm hoping to do is to raise the awareness that this gray area exists so that others like you can raise your hand and say, you know, I might want to know more about that and see how I can improve on my relationship with alcohol and beyond. That's why I created a course and a class coming up. The class is How to Have a Better Relationship with Alcohol in Just 30 Days. In that class, I'll be sharing my 6 top secrets, the myths and roadblocks as to why other programs may not work. And that's okay. Not every program has to work with everybody. There are a multitude of programs and options out there for each individual. And with my program, I'm happy to say that 100% of my clients have and establish a better relationship with alcohol, yes, in 30 days or less. So I want to invite you to this class. It's going to be held on Monday, the 22nd of February at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to put the registration link below, and I would love for you to be able to join. It is a free class. We'll be sharing about my upcoming course called the Try Dry for 30 course. And I will say it's one of my favorite courses that I've created to date. Please be at this class if you think you are a gray area drinker too. And like I said, I'll be sharing some secrets in that class that only I've been sharing with my paid clients. I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks for watching.